Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Barcast TV and to another episode of Mastering the Early Game. Today we're going to be analyzing Pro Randy's Open on Comet Catcher and seeing the differences in how he plays from our previous episode on this same map by Teddy. So hopefully he ends up going Vehicle Opens. I know a lot of these Mastering the Early Game replays I've been posting have been Bot Lab Opens, and I think in the future, these next coming weeks, I'm going to be trying getting some vehicle opens for y'all to use on these different 1v1 maps. So let's get into the replay. This is Comet Catcher, and we're going to be analyzing Pro Randy's Open. So just like in previous episodes, we're not going to be going too far into the replay, and really just seeing like the early game steps, or the open, if you will, how Randy chooses to do that on this map. So if y'all like these kinds of replays, you like these kind of analyses, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be sure to make some more in the future. So thank you for everyone who has been commenting on the commenting on the videos. Really appreciate it, and thank you for that. So we're just going to pause here real quick and take a note of this early build so far Randy's been going for. He's opted for the 2 metal extractors into Solar Collector LLT. This is a pretty common move on this map, spawning in this location here. Players will cap these 2 mexes, add on the Solar Collector, and use this defensive LLT before moving to this 3rd mex. So should we see Randy adding a 3rd mex before Vehicle Plant, and this is pretty common on this open. I've seen even some players go for the 5 mex open, but I'm not sure if that's completely viable. But nevertheless, this just allows you to protect these 2 mexes while you move away with your commander. And early raids, early scouts and ticks won't just immediately take out these metal extractors. And I can note the building positioning on this. Notice how close together. Well, a couple things to note here. For those of you who don't know, you can build these metal extractors on Comet Catcher quite a ways away from the actual mass location. So this allows 2 things, I would say. For one, it positions these metal extractors well within the attack radius of this excuse me, it's much larger than that actually, the attack radius of this LLT. So it allows a little more cover for those metal extractors sitting underneath this LLT. And furthermore, notice how the Solar Collector actually kind of protects or makes a wall in front of this LLT. So if units were to come up through this direction here, they can't just immediately start attacking your LLT. They have to get through the armor and health of the Solar Collector before they can start attacking this LLT. So pretty cool position. And then furthermore, another position, like say if you start here with your commander and you're building these metal extractors as far away as you can from the actual deposit, this lets you move to this 3rd mex a lot quicker. So kind of twofold utility here in placing these mexes. It allows you to cover them underneath the LLT and allows you to get this 3rd mex a little quicker. So I'm going to pause the replay. And he's going to be opening with vehicles or bot labs. We'll see. He should be adding on another Solar Collector. Yeah, there we go. And notice the positioning here. He's tucking it up against this metal extractor. So just a little bit of extra cover. Units can't really attack into that and as quickly. Ooh, so here we go. So this is going to be a bot lab opening, actually. Nothing wrong with that. Bots are great on this map. They're very quick. The construction bots are a lot faster than those construction vehicles, so it allows you to get your expansions up more quickly. The only difficult part about this open against a player who is going vehicles is the bots versus vehicles matchup is a lot more micro intensive. For the bot player, you need to abuse the range the grunt has on the blitzes to really get the most cost efficient trades and then protect them, of course. So I'll pause the replay and just take a note so far what we have. Looks like we've gone to 2 metal extractors, Solar Collector LLT. We moved with our comm, added on a metal extractor, Solar Collector, then into bot lab, and then we're going to be going into our 4th and 5th Solar Collector, and then a radar tower. So not the most optimal positioning on the radar tower, but note how it is tucked up against these Solar Collectors and protected by the commander. So really not vulnerable to attack at this point in the game. And just like in previous iterations of these episodes, we won't focus too much on the micro of these grunts. I mean, Randy's a very strong player and can micro and macro at the same time very well. So for those newer players who are here watching these videos, I wouldn't concentrate so much on trying to emulate these grunt moves here. I mean, you could very well just move your first grunt over here and second one to these flanks. And just like Randy's done, is catch these run bys that players are using to kind of these first initial scouts, trying to get on your side of the map, looking for weaknesses. You can just park your grunts here and here and kind of deflect those. And notice how efficient this LLT is. Rock, his opponent, has moved into the back lines with the scout, notices the LLT, and shoos away. You know, if that wasn't there, you could very easily lose these two mexes. So haven't been doing the best job of keeping track of the actual production out of the factory. It looks like we went 2 grunts into 2 construction bots. This first one is this second construction bot is assisting the factory, and the first construction bot is just adding on additional solar collectors. So we made a 6 solar collector with our commander, and then we start moving out of the main base, and then we start moving out of the main base to cap these 2 mexes immediately above. And these are great mexes to cap. For one, they're very close to your main base, and 2, you can actually protect these quite well with the second LLT. So Randy should be doing the same thing, building these metal extractors far away from the mex location, but close enough together to give them extra protection underneath this LLT that I'm sure he's going to be constructing there. So looks like we have an additional construction bots. So we went 2 grunts, 2 construction bots, grunt construction bot, and we'll see what else he's going to be producing out of this for the time being. So this is a great radar positioning. I notice a lot of people will build it here in front of this crater here, but really the utility in this is seeing what direction these run bys are going to be coming from. So it really gives you a lot of intel on where you need to position your grunts, and suppose if they aren't on your opponent's side of the board, well, you could very easily find where to send those grunts to deflect any kind of early game harassment. I don't know how many of you struggle with early game run bys. If you do, leave a comment. You let us know. It's like what do you struggle with most in the early games of these bar 1v1 matches, and I'll be sure to comment or lend an ear to what y'all are saying. So take a look. Randy's just spotting where's the commander, where is Rock building his infrastructure, and it looks like Rock. He does have a factory out. Okay, so I was like, where is his factory at? I'm not sure. Sorry. So Randy has finished these 2 metal extractors, added on the LLT, and he's going to be moving towards the center of the board. So whether or not he moves in this direction or moves his commander more towards like the north mid, we'll take a look and see actually how he decides to position that commander. And we're rapidly approaching this like 20. Usually I end the replay around 20 mass income per tick. 250 power. This map has so many mexes on it. It's very quick to get a decent economy, and still Randy's adding on even more construction bots. So it's gone up to 4 construction bots assisting the factory. We're 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. We have, 2, 4, 5 metal extractors, 1 radar, 6 solar collectors, 2 LLTs, and we have 3 grunts on the board and 5 construction bots. Our 5th construction bot is finally coming off of this bot lab here. So really interesting style, a lot different than Teddy's open on this map. We see Randy really committing the build power to his bot lab here, trying to get units out on the field, trying to get these early construction bots and build power in his main base while his commander is expanding. So a little bit of an idle factory downtime here, not the biggest of deals. Randy continuing to add on these bots, so this is really interesting style here. Looks like he's issued the command. This 6th construction bot is going to be adding on a lot of solar collectors, and this is some pretty cool unit position. Notice how Randy's constructed a wall here. And this is something I've been noticing from his playstyle, is building this nice wall here, protecting any run-bys from coming in this direction and sneaking behind the main base. It can be very difficult once units get in front of your units to kind of deflect run-bys. So it kind of takes even more solar collectors on. So really emphasizing this wall here. Pretty cool to see. And the output from his factory can just move into the center of the board. So this is a pretty fascinating open. We see all clear the board here. Pause the replay and just take a note of the movement of this commander. So we cap these 2 mexes, move to this location here, added on our initial solar collectors, bot lab, moved up to this position here, added on additional metal extractors and another LLT, moved to the center, cap this mex, added it on an LLT, and it looks like Randy's going to be adding another forward radar here. Great coverage here. We can see just how far that extends into the middle of the board. So you can see even more run-bys coming into your side of the map. Less these extreme angles here on the top and bottom side, but we'll have to pay attention to see where does Randy choose to move his commander after this position. And yeah, moves back south more towards the center of this actual map here. So I've seen some commanders will actually move to this top side here and put like a forward factory in this location, or that move could be mirrored by moving your commander here, say if you spawn on that side of the map, but Randy choosing to move towards the middle. So really interesting open so far. And finally he has some expanding engineers coming out. So we have 5 construction bots assisting our factory in the main base. We have 5 grunts, 1 construction bot on repeat coming out of our factory. We have 2 construction bots adding solar collectors. And finally, after, what is this, 5, 6, 7? Our 8th and 9th construction bot are going to be our expanding construction gang here. And we can take a look at these build orders and notice how Randy isn't building any LLTs with this with these build orders here. Now, he very well may add some at this end of the chain here after he's capped all these mexes in this top right corner. But really, he's trying to get the mass into his economy as quickly, and will be using radars and good grunt positioning to defend against attacks. Now, if you're a lesser player, or less experienced, we should say, and want to kind of deviate from this style here, certainly you can do the same thing. We can add additional LLTs here, can add one here, like as we're moving and expanding, adding on LLTs with this, and that'll protect these construction bots. If you're not super confident in these radar positionings or reacting to run-bys, go ahead and add a couple LLTs as you're moving up this top right side of the board. Nothing wrong with changing this open to suit your playstyle or to suit your level of skill. So Randy, definitely a top player here. Sure, he's very confident in defending himself against run-bys and attacks, and we just have one coming in on the bottom right side. So you can see Randy's reacting to that. He's moving grunts into position and continuing to add on LLTs. Or continuing to add on metal extractors rather with his commander. So I think we're getting close to ending this replay. We're 5 minutes into the game. This is so many construction bots. This is a fascinating style. I haven't really seen this open here on this map. So still have these 5 construction bots assisting the factory. We have an additional construction bot that's popped out onto the board, and look how perfectly balanced this economy is. He's got decent balance on the power income, just at a slight deficit to the draw, and rather perfectly balanced. We see 23 plus 24, nearly no mass in the bank. Right where you want to be 5 minutes in the game. You want to have spent all that early mass. And look at this micro control. For those of you who don't know, playing bots versus vehicles, grunts have more range than these blitzes here. So you really have to abuse the attack radius on these grunts and kite these blitzes. Get in front of them before they get into your main base and kite them back. So possibly we'll see Rock retreating with these units. Look, that's a nice microing that damaged blitz back there. He's trying to get into this territory. We see this one LLT is more than enough to shoo away these couple grunts. He's going to lose a couple mexes for it, but at the cost of leaving this wreckage on Randy's side of the board. So he should be peeling off one of these construction bots shortly and just recapping these mexes, adding on that solar collector to protect the LLT, and scooping up this mass from these dead blitzes and grunts. So pretty cool to see. We're 5 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. We're sitting at plus 20 mass income. Granted, we just lost 2 metal extractors, so we'd be around plus 24 if those hadn't gone down. We have this expanding gang going to the top side and commanders in the middle of the board. He's added on another radar here. So great radar coverage. You can see just how a little bit redundant in these placement. These are a little close together. I think he could have maybe moved it out a little farther, but not the biggest of a deal. Just wants to add on the radar before he moves out with his commander, and is going to be continuing to add on mexes here in the center of the board, and really neglecting the southern expansion here. He's just trying to get this, excuse me, Randy's just trying to get this part of the board locked up, I'm sure. So I'm not sure how much farther we'll go into this replay analysis. It's really interesting to see this style of open here. We have 6 construction bots assisting this factory. And oh, as soon as, notice this, as soon as these mexes were destroyed and that little first battle was on Randy's side of the map, he's added a grave robber into the queue here. So I'm sure he's going to be rezzing these units, going to be soaking up this reclaim here with that res bot. And that's just like so much utility from this unit. It's pretty cool to see. So we have 2 construction bots adding on solar collectors, 6 construction bots assisting the factory. We have 2 construction bot expansion gang, and our commander is moving to the middle of the board expanding. So I think this is as far as I want to move this replay. I'll be sure to bring you all some future vehicle opens on this map, or vehicle opens on the more popular maps like Comet Catcher, Circulata, Into Battle, Redux. What are some other ones? And if y'all would like to see an open for a particular map, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to produce one of these for you. If y'all are struggling with your early game opens or having some losses on the ladder that you would want to see analyzed, shoot me an email. We can put you on the Roast My Replay playlist, and I'll be happy to look through your game for you and see what comments I can have or what you could have done differently. So thanks y'all for watching, and hope this helps. See you in the next video.